Hey Year 12s, in this video we'll look at referenda affecting the division of lawmaking powers. Of the 8 referendum proposals that have actually passed, only 4 have affected the division of lawmaking powers. These are the 1910 referendum on state debts, the 1928 referendum on state debts, the 1946 referendum on social services, and the 1967 referendum on Aboriginal affairs. For the exam, you only need to know one of these referenda in detail, but you do need to remember that there have been 4 successful referenda that affected the division of powers in Australia. There hasn't been an exam question on this area in the last 5 years, so let's look at an example of a question that you could get come exam time. How successful are referenda at changing the division of powers in Australia? Use one example to support your answer. This question would be worth around 4 marks. When discussing your chosen referenda, you need to firstly directly respond to the question. You have to decide how successful you think referenda are at changing the division of powers. Next, you include 4 main pieces of information. The first is a 1 or 2 sentence overview of the facts. Second, you identify the issue. The issue is the main question raised by the case. Third, tell the examiner what the decision was. Finally, explain how the decision affected the division of powers. This means you need to tell the examiner who gained power, what power they gained, and who lost power. Let's answer the question using the 1967 referendum as an example. Successful referenda have only somewhat affected the division of power. Since 1901, only 4 referenda have led to a constitutional change that affected the division of power. Before 1967, the Constitution explicitly prohibited the Commonwealth from making laws for Aboriginal people, and it prohibited Indigenous people from being counted as citizens in the Australian census. The Holt government introduced a referendum proposal which asked whether these sections should be removed from the Constitution. The referendum was passed overwhelmingly, with 90.77% of Australians and 6 out of 6 states voting in favour. This meant that federal parliament gained the power to make law on Aboriginal affairs. They could implement policies that would benefit Aboriginal people. Therefore, federal parliament's power was increased at the expense of state power. So remember, facts, issue, decision, impact. For information on the other 3 referenda, see the text below this video. Bye for now, and bon studying.